Okay, I decided to make an additional video this morning that perhaps I should make an official declaration. I am now an ex-post-Mormon and an ex-ex-Mormon. An ex-post-Mormon, and an ex-ex-Mormon, but especially an ex-post-Mormon. Maybe even more than an ex-ex-Mormon. And what I mean by that is, I could see that it's time to move on. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop protesting against Mormonism and against their abuses. Okay, it doesn't mean that. What it means is that with regard to sites like ex-Mormon.org and even postmormon.org or com or whatever, or the Salt Lake City postmos, it's time to grow up in it insofar as, there's a group of kind of mothering, controlling people who run these groups, and that's okay for when you're just a little tiny baby exmo and you've only been out for 1 or 2 weeks, and what do I do now that I'm can't go to Relief Society meeting or priesthood or have the home teachers come over or go to the temple? What do I do? Oh, I need help. Help me. Help me learn how to live without this bullshit Mormonism stuff. Oh, how do I do that? So, there's specific answers to those questions. And some of these mothering, controlling types, they'll just kind of, pat your little head and say, "Oh, little Susie and little Jimmy, comfort yourself in my warm little arms. Oh yes, we will not judge you now, and be happy. And come to our little forum where we will only talk about the most myopically scoped things about being leaving the Mormon Church. What happened at General Conference that we did not agree on, but nothing about politics or about science or about the world. Just the most myopically scoped things, because you as a brand new ex-Mormon, you cannot handle more difficult concepts that you might encounter if you examine people like Christopher Hitchens or Richard Dawkins or Sam Harris or Steven Pinker or Daniel Dennett or Carl Sagan. Your heart is so tender and fragile. You can't deal with a lot of strong debates and interesting arguments. You're so fragile. So, I'm through with that kind of bullshit. It's time to move on and, move on to important things like, yeah, there is a difference between wishy-washy bullshit crystal worship and paganism and Deepak Chopraism and actually valuing what the world really is. So there's a difference between wacky woo-woo and, things advocated by the people who are my new heroes. And it's okay to have heroes. Okay? So I'm now officially an ex-post-Mormon. Ex-post-Mormon. That means human. And it still means atheist, though. Atheist, no problem. And anti-theist. Anti-bullshit. And anti-imposed harmony by the mothering, controlling, post-Mormon, ex-Mormon forum admins and website admins, okay? It's time to move on. So maybe I'll still go to the coffee shops occasionally, but don't expect me to kiss your ass. Okay? So that's that.